begin tonight in Georgia, where the father of the teen shooter who killed 4 people at Appalachia High School yesterday has been arrested. Thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 10. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation said Cullen Gray faces 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter, 2 counts of second-degree murder, and 8 counts of cruelty to children.
Authorities have charged his 14-year-old son as an adult. The teen faces murder charges. He allegedly killed 2 students and 2 teachers with a semi-automatic assault-style rifle. 9 other people were wounded. The teen shooter was a student at the high school. He's being held at a youth detention facility and will make his first court appearance tomorrow.
Meanwhile, back here at home, students and parents at 2 high schools are still shaken up. Both schools were put on lockdown today.
There was a report that a student had a gun on campus in Bloomfield. Both schools were cleared of any threat, and it's not clear why Windsor shut down. But Fox 61 did obtain video of the lockdown message at Windsor High School. Take a look.
You should remain in your classrooms. You can teach as normal. However, we need to keep the hallways clear.
Now, parents tell us it took 90 minutes for the district to alert them and that police were on Windsor High School's campus.
I think they could have did better with communicating to the parents, but it's just like to find out like hours later, like that's what kind of angers me.
I was nervous, and I feel like because we still haven't gotten like a robocall or anything, so to find out the way I found out wasn't good for me.
Again, it's not clear why Windsor High School shut down. As for Bloomfield, police tell Fox 61 a student said they had a gun and that student was arrested. It's still not clear if any charges are being filed.
Police in Hamden identifying the student under arrest for allegedly making a bomb threat against Quinnipiac University. They say 22-year-old Nkemakoam Okafor of Rochester, New York, posted on social media that there was a pipe bomb inside the Carl Hansen Student Center. Police evacuated the student center and the adjoining Tater Hall. The bomb squad determined there was no threat. Okafor is being charged with first-degree breach of peace. He's out on a $10,000 bond and will appear in court in 2 weeks.
Time for our first check of the forecast tonight. Another stunning day out there, but of course we have our eyes on the weekend. We are one step closer and for the potential break of this gorgeous weather stretch.
Yeah, of course it could come on a weekend, but boy, we've been so spoiled. We shouldn't complain. Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank here with the details. Rach?
And the funny part is once the weekend ends, we're right back to this beautiful stretch of weather. And even tomorrow morning, it'll be a little bit misty and murky too. Right now, we're looking at temperatures close to the 60-degree mark. We are running out of ways to describe how beautiful this weather has been this week. Upper 50s right now in Chester and also Meriden. We have a storm offshore that stays offshore and a cold front that will bring us some showers on Saturday. And new tonight, it looks like the timing of that has sped up. So we could see some showers Saturday afternoon, especially later in the day and at night. Overnight lows will be dropping back through the 50s. So it's not quite as chilly tonight as it has been the last few nights and following mornings. It's still refreshing. It's still open up the windows weather, but I don't think we see as many 40s out there. To start off the day tomorrow, we begin with some clouds, some fog. There might be some areas of mist, but I'm cautiously optimistic that we break for some sun as we head through the midday and into the afternoon. High temperatures will be between 75 to right around 80, and it's just a little bit more humid outside tomorrow, so you might notice that difference. Then heading into the weekend, we'll see mostly cloudy skies, more humid conditions on Saturday with a rising chance for showers through the afternoon and evening. But the good news is with this sped up arrival time with the rain, it is well done and over with by the time you wake up on Sunday. We'll get a closer look at all of this, your full forecast coming up.
All right, Rachel, thank you. Well, 13 former cadets of the U.S. Coast Guard Academy in New London have filed serious complaints against the school and are seeking millions in compensation. The cadets all say they were sexually assaulted at the academy and accused administrators of covering up the allegations and failing to prevent further sexual violence. The complaints were filed in federal court and seek $10 million per cadet. The alleged assaults took place between the 1980s and more recent years. One woman, referred to as Jane Doe number 1, said she was raped twice at the academy and then later gang raped several times on board ship after graduating. The complaints follow the revelation that the Coast Guard conducted an investigation into sexual assaults at the school called Operation Fouled Anchor, but kept the results secret. Coast Guard officials had no comment today, but said they are working on a response to the complaint.
Well, each year at Sherwood Island State Park, family and friends who lost a loved one in the 9/11 attacks gather to honor and remember them. Fox 61's Alexa Farrell was at the ceremony today in Westport.
The weather today very similar to how it was 23 years ago in New York City when terrorists attacked our nation. Today, including every year since, people gather in Westport to remember their loved ones that lost their lives from Connecticut on 9/11. They lay flowers down and talk about their legacies since.
161 names.
Margaret Connor, Kevin P. Connors, Joseph John Capo.
161 grieving families. 161 stories that were cut short.
I think every generation has a moment that focuses the mind, and it's a tragedy that the first time young people realize something's happening. My kids, they were in elementary school. It was 9/11.
At Sherwood Island State Park, each name of a person from Connecticut killed in 9/11 was read aloud on Thursday evening. A memorial sits in this very spot because on that dark day, you could see the smoke billowing from New York City. Now engraved are the names of everyone from our state that lost their life on September 11th, 2001, or because of that day. Names like Thomas Thurkoff.
My brother was a funny, very smart guy. He was an executive. He had just been named the top bank analyst by the Wall Street Journal that summer that he was killed.
His sister, Barbara Thurkoff, spoke this year about her brother. She attends the ceremony in his honor each year, recounting that tragic day.
We didn't know for days, or it took us 3 or 4 days to reach an agreement that he had died. And then to tell my parents that that was in fact the case.
But more than remembering the way he died, she says his family remembers the way he lived.
Well, just reference him like you would anybody else in the family as if they were still around, because it just seems like you want to keep them alive, but without dwelling on what had happened.
As the sun sets on yet another year, these individuals may be gone, but they are never forgotten.
Give us new days so that we may move forward, carrying with us the memory of those we have loved so dearly and lost.
In Westport, Alexa Farrell, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Well, another day of searching for 2 missing boaters has come to an end. It's been 72 hours since that boat crashed in Old Saybrook, and families are still hoping and praying for any news. 9 people went into the water. The boat collided with a break wall. Only 6 survived, and the body of Chris Hallahan of Westbrook was recovered the next day. Crews will be out again tomorrow looking for the 2 men who went into the water without a life jacket.
We're learning more tonight about the last-second decision by the president's son to plead guilty to 9 charges of tax fraud. Hunter Biden's plea deal will circumvent a lengthy trial, but it could net him an even longer prison sentence. Fox's Connor Hansen has the latest.
Hunter Biden walked out of a California courtroom, now facing up to 17 years in prison after pleading guilty to 9 tax charges. Having already gone through a high-profile trial in Delaware exposing salacious details of his personal life, his attorney says they didn't want to drag his family through it again.
Hunter decided to enter his plea to protect those he loves from unnecessary hurt and cruel humiliation.
The president's son has been accused of failing to pay more than $1 million in taxes while spending wildly on things like exotic cars, clothes, and adult entertainment. Hunter Biden says he paid back those taxes in full, saying in a statement, quote, "Like millions of Americans, I failed to file and pay my taxes on time. For that, I am responsible." The new guilty plea took prosecutors by surprise. They're reportedly planning to enter evidence connected to Hunter's overseas business dealings during the trial. This all comes as Hunter Biden also faces prison time for his conviction on gun charges.
If they had simply reached a new deal after the first one collapsed, they could have had a global agreement of all of these cases. Now he's going to go in sentencing as a convicted person on the gun charges.
Sentencing for Hunter Biden's gun charges will take place a week after the election, and he'll be sentenced for the tax charges in December. The White House maintains President Biden will not issue his son a pardon. In New York, Connor Hansen, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.